Welcome to m-hance presents the 12 Days of Hintmas with me, Sharon Keegan. On the 9th day of Hintmas, GP gave to me transaction level posting that goes straight through the general ledger. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you're one of the accountants who on a monthly basis has to go into the transactions in here in the general ledger and opens up your batches, and you find lots of batches with strange names and you're not sure where they came from, more often than not they will have come from the subledgers as transaction level postings. So what's a transaction level posting? It's a transaction that didn't come from a batch. So if you save a transaction in a batch, batches are typically set to post straight through your general ledger. Whereas transaction level postings, so if I just enter a transaction and post it without saving it in a batch, that's a transaction level post, and that goes in here to the general ledger. It waits to be reviewed and then pushed on onto the GL codes. In reality, you can't really delete that or change it because then your ledgers will be out of balance. Okay, so with this version now of GP, you can actually change this setting and you can tell transactions to go straight through your general ledger. So before turning that on, what I would say is, first of all, make sure that you are familiar with the posting setup and what this window does. This window can be very dangerous in the wrong hands. If I go to my purchase ledger, if I was to pick the origin all, that shows me the default for the purchase ledger. If I say OK or save here now, that will actually change my settings from whatever changes I have at the moment. So what you do is you would go into individual transactions. So let's say payables transaction entry, and over here you've got post to general ledger, post through. So that's the normal setting, and that's what you will see in any system prior to GP18. In GP18 you have under allow transaction posting, which again is standard in earlier versions of GP. You now have post through general ledger files. So this is where you say push transaction level posting straight onto the GL codes. Don't let them sit in the general ledger waiting to be approved, where they, to be honest, may get deleted by mistake, and then your ledgers are out of whack. So this is where you would set it up. It's under administration and posting, and make sure you check your series and your origin. There's a lot of other things you can do in this window. Like I said, please don't go into this window unless you are familiar with it, but you can certainly speak to whoever is your system administrator and ask them to go in and change the setting, or give us a shout if it is something that you're not sure about yourself. So that is, I think, a nice one. It's one that stops, batches building up in your GL that you're not sure that you then have to go back and check on. So hope you get some use from that. And that's our hint for today. Please come back tomorrow.